The Art of Quiet Success, Why You Shouldn't Show Off. Introduction. In a world where social media and public perception dominate, many believe that showing off wealth and power equates to success. But history, business, and even the underworld of Mafia teach us that true power thrives in silence and discretion. This principle is deeply rooted in the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, particularly Law 9, win through your actions, never through argument. Law 4, always say less than necessary. Law 46, never appear too perfect. Law 6, court attention at all costs, but control it wisely. Law 48, assume formlessness. Throughout history, those who mastered the art of quiet success outlasted their rivals, avoided unnecessary enemies, and built legacies that endured. Let's explore real-life historical and modern stories, including those from the 48 Laws of Power, Mafia culture, business, and politics, to understand why showing off can lead to downfall and how discretion can be your greatest weapon in business, leadership, and life. The 48 Laws of Power stories. The dangers of showing off. 1. The fall of Chancellor Michel de Montmorency. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Michel de Montmorency was a trusted advisor to King Louis XIII of France. However, he made a fatal mistake. He boasted too much about his victories and started acting as if he were the real ruler. The king, feeling threatened, began to resent Montmorency's influence. Result? The king had him arrested and Montmorency was executed. Lesson: the more you flaunt success, the more you risk making powerful enemies. White heavy checkmark modern application. In business, if you outshine your boss or take too much credit, you might get fired or sidelined. Instead, let your achievements speak for themselves. 2. The downfall of Emperor Maximilian of Mexico. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Maximilian of Mexico made the mistake of talking too much and making grand promises. He boasted about his plans to reform Mexico, but this only attracted enemies. His excessive public statements led to betrayals and political opposition. Result? He was captured and executed by revolutionaries. Lesson: talking too much about your wealth, power, or plans exposes you to enemies. White heavy checkmark modern application. Billionaires like Warren Buffett or Jeff Bezos reveal very little about their personal lives and strategies. This keeps them in control and prevents unnecessary attacks. 3. The fall of Admiral Zheng He. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Admiral Zheng He was a powerful Chinese explorer who commanded some of the largest naval fleets in history. However, he made the mistake of showing off his greatness too much. His fleet displayed China's wealth across the world, causing jealousy within the imperial court. The emperor's advisors saw him as too powerful and too perfect, a potential threat to their own influence. Result? After Zheng He's death, the government destroyed his fleet and erased his achievements from history. Lesson: never appear too perfect, or people will try to destroy you. White heavy checkmark modern application. Elon Musk, despite being one of the world's richest men, frequently downplays his wealth and makes himself seem relatable to avoid becoming a target. The Mafia silent code, power in the shadows. In Mafia culture, survival depends on secrecy, discretion, and strategic control rather than public displays of power. 1. Vito Corleone, the Godfather's lesson in power. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. In The Godfather, Vito Corleone operates with extreme caution. He avoids bragging or making threats. Instead, he makes subtle yet powerful moves. He understands that words can be dangerous. The more you talk, the more you expose yourself. He influences people through favors and quiet power, ensuring loyalty rather than fear. By staying calm, strategic, and silent, Corleone commands respect without inviting unnecessary enemies. White heavy checkmark real-life business application. In leadership, avoid unnecessary statements. Speak only when necessary and let results prove your value. 2. John Gotti. The cost of showing off. Law 6. Court attention at all costs, but control it wisely. John Gotti, boss of the Gambino crime family, broke the rule of secrecy. Unlike traditional mafia bosses who kept low profiles, Gotti loved media attention, wearing expensive suits and publicly showing off his power. His arrogance made him an easy target for law enforcement. Result? The FBI gathered enough evidence to convict him, leading to his life imprisonment. Lesson: power isn't about being seen, it's about being felt. White heavy checkmark modern application. The most powerful investors and entrepreneurs operate quietly, avoiding public attention until necessary. Historical and business lessons. The smartest leaders stay quiet. 1. Napoleon Bonaparte. The power of strategic silence. Law 48. Assume formlessness. Napoleon adapted to situations, revealing only what was necessary. He rarely boasted about victories in advance, instead letting his battlefield results make the statement. His enemies underestimated him, thinking he was weaker than he actually was. He changed strategies constantly, ensuring that no one could predict his next move. White heavy checkmark business lesson. In negotiations, don't show all your cards too soon. Keep your competition guessing. 2. Warren Buffett. The humble billionaire, Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Unlike many billionaires, Warren Buffett downplays his power. He still lives in a modest home, despite his vast fortune. By downplaying his power, he avoids excessive scrutiny and envy. White heavy checkmark business lesson. Avoid unnecessary attention. It invites competition and envy. How to apply this to your life and business. 1. Let your work speak for itself. Instead of announcing how successful you are, let people notice naturally. 2. Avoid social media flexing. The more people see your wealth or plans, the more they try to compete or destroy you. 3. Master strategic silence. Speak only when necessary. Mystery creates power and respect. 4. Learn from history. The most successful leaders in businesses understood that excessive exposure invites danger. Conclusion: the power of staying silent. The most powerful people in history didn't show off. They moved strategically, allowing their influence to grow in silence. Whether in business, politics, or personal success, practicing quiet success will keep you ahead of the game. Key takeaways. Heavy check mark, keep your plans private. Heavy check mark, let actions, not words, define you. Heavy check mark, powerful people don't seek validation. They create impact. From the Godfather to Napoleon, from Warren Buffett to Apple, the lesson is the same. Control your image, stay humble, and let your success do the talking.